My name's Betsy Osman. I'm the Director of Marketing Communications for the Illinois Soybean Association. I am also Editor-in-Chief of our flagship publication, Illinois Field and Bean Magazine. I got to know Nate a couple years ago when he joined us as a freelance writer and also editor. So he sort of works in a couple different capacities. So in that capacity, I got to know Nate a couple years ago in a freelance capacity, started working with us to develop content for our magazine and has kind of become a lead writer for our magazine. He also edits our magazine. So he is part of the process both in development and then editing the magazine also. And we are a monthly publication. So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work for Nate on a monthly basis.
Can you give the audience a bit of a sense of is Illinois Soybean Association and who do you serve?
So the Illinois Soybean Association, we serve every soybean farmer in the state of Illinois, which is about 43,000 Illinois soybean farmers. So we have a very large, widespread audience. Despite the fact that we are all in one state, region to region, our soybean farmers have very different challenges and very different opportunities based on where they're at in the state. Also based on, the size of their farm, their community. So despite the fact that we, serve many different farmers across the state, no two Illinois soybean farmers are ever the same.
Love that. Thank you, Betsy. You've described the work that we've been doing together. Can you talk a little bit about maybe the problem you had when we first started working together? What led us to connect in the first place?
Yeah. So when Nate joined our team, we were in a sort of a period of disorganization. We needed more manpower on our team. Our small team was spread very, very thin. It had become very difficult for everyone to get articles and interviews finished and on time. So we brought Nate in to be some more support, the support that we needed. During that sort of process, we developed a better timeline for content development, for interviews, for deadlines. And then once our magazine has gone to layout, we developed a longer editing process so that we allowed ourselves more time to edit the magazine. When Nate joined us, we were sort of formalizing our process a little bit more, and Nate sort of fell right in line with this sort of new process and new timeline to allow ourselves really the time that we needed to sort of step up our game, to be sure that we were honoring the contributions of our writers, allowing our content experts to review content before anything was published, and then allowing ourselves the time to edit to be sure that we were reporting accurately and factually and correctly. So very important for sure.
Yeah, I love that. That's awesome, Betsy. Thank you. Can you talk a little bit about the process of working together, including any milestones or memorable moments along the way?
Nate always does a fantastic job of speaking farmer. That's what I say about Nate. He speaks farmer so well and has done a brilliant job taking what is sometimes very technical content and making it meaningful and accessible. Nate is very skilled at that type of writing. Memorable moments with Nate, there have been a few standout pieces that I've really learned something new or really felt like his writing brought a warmth to the topic that made the topic meaningful and made me care about what he was writing about what the message was. So I think that Nate's style combined with just his degree of professionalism really makes for very high quality content again and again consistently.
I'm honored. Thank you for sharing that. That's great. That's great to hear. Can you talk about, maybe the key outcomes or key benefits you've experienced in your leadership role, right? You're juggling a lot. And so I'm curious just what our collaboration means for you in terms of what you're able to accomplish in your role.
I'll be honest, I am also relatively new to my role. I assumed the role of director of the department 3 months ago now. And so I am suddenly responsible for 6 direct reports. And I am not able to give the magazine the time and attention that I was able to give it a year ago. So, knowing that Nate has thoroughly reviewed the publication before it goes to print often means that I can relax knowing that it's well handled. It is in hand. I feel like I've been able to hand off a lot of the responsibility because we have such highly professional experts who are leading our magazine and ensuring that it is, gold standard content and edited and all of that. So it really, having Nate and others in place has really allowed me to step into my new role and really lead the department in the way that it needs me to lead it.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm happy to hear that. And congrats on your leadership role. That's tremendous and well deserved. How are you feeling 3 months in?
So we've just gotten through RFP season. I was a little anxious about what that would look like because it of course entails, reading through dozens and dozens of project proposals, many of which are really cool and exciting and innovative. Our budgets are not what they were, 3 years ago. We have had to reduce our budgets pretty dramatically and are not able to fund to the same level this year that we have in the past. So we've had to be so selective about the projects and the partners that we are working with over the next year. And so, it's sad in some ways to not be able to fund absolutely everything and work with even some of the programs that you historically, have great relationships with. But I will say this, despite the fact that our budget is reduced and we are trying to do more with less, our budget with Nate has increased this year because he is such an asset to our team.
That's a big deal. Thank you. That means a lot. And I will do my best to uphold the trust you placed in me.
Of course you will.
What would you tell if there was another ag nonprofit or trade association looking at working with me and with Silver Maple Strategies, my company? What would you tell them? What would you want them to know?
I wouldn't tell them at all because I want to keep you for ourselves. No, I'm kidding. I'm teasing. I'm teasing Nate. I would tell them that you are honestly, as far as, freelance partners go, you really are an organization's dream come true. You are so quick to respond and responsible and really easy to work with. You do a really good job of interviewing our sources, our content experts, and also you do a really good job of stepping into the role of being a ghostwriter because a lot of times we want a byline to go to a specific internal leader or a board director who just either don't have the time or don't necessarily have the communication skills needed to develop content. So, whether it is as a ghostwriter for, a leadership or, as a member of the magazine team, interviewing a number of content experts, I would say that Nate's quality is consistently just gold standard.
Betsy, any other comments you'd like to make?
A lot of our departments are going to be leaning on our internal communications team more this year than they have in the past. That was sort of a initiative that our CEO tried to implement last year, and we're doing it more this year, where, our departments, rather than working with outside agencies, they are going to be leaning more and more on our in-house communications team in an effort to streamline services and be consistent in our messaging, but also, save money. Again, our budgets are tight. Moving forward, moving into the new fiscal year, we will be using Nate not only in the magazine, but also for other communications, internal communications, because our needs as a small internal communication team are going to be dramatically increasing over the next year.